Hello, my name is Lizzie. Each week I'm bringing along a different origami fold to inspire you to take some time out for yourself, a little bit of self-care time, do something different and lift your mood, and I hope it can make a difference over this time. It's been great to show all sorts of different folds that I've never done myself before. All of these folds are from others as well, so it's very much about the kindness of others, that they've made an amazing discovery, an amazing design, and then passed it on. So this week comes from a special request from a colleague at UCLH where I work, and the film's all dedicated to my colleagues actually at UCLH Hospital, and encouraging staff to look after themselves. Giving so much care to others, it's so important to look after yourself. It will give you more resilience and hopefully help you in so many ways. So yes, so this comes from a request from someone who I'm just delighted to hear these films have helped to inspire, and she's been creating her own folds and she's been encouraging others, so very well done. So I was asked if I could maybe share a bookmark, and actually a few people have suggested this. It's not a fold I've done before. It's actually quite simple but really effective. So it's a butterfly origami bookmark, and it comes from Ralph Matthews, who invented this. So it looks like a butterfly, but it does work as a bookmark. Let me show you one of my favourite books. Origami book, of course. So they slot onto the corner of a page just so neatly and fits on really snugly. I think actually quite a small butterfly looks best, but have an experiment. I'm going to show you how to make one of your own. So it's simple but really, really lovely. I've also really enjoyed colouring in a bit too. Here I've used some scrap paper and I've added a bit of colour so you can make something really unique. So do experiment. Right, so all you need to do is grab yourself a piece of paper, and actually in this case I would recommend A4 paper or A5 paper. You can use origami paper, but you're going to have to slightly modify it because you actually want the dimensions of an A4 piece of paper. Right, so I will explain, and I'll explain if you do have origami paper how to change it. So if you grab something to press on, here we go, direct this down. So I'm going to grab myself my paper. So we are going to use the dimensions, as I mentioned, of the paper. So if you did a butterfly this size, it would be huge. You could do that as a decoration, but for a bookmark I'd recommend, first of all, folding it in half. There we go. So always just nice and exact, take my time to get it all lined up. Good strong fold means then you can easily tear it. I've rather enjoyed the tearing. It's not something I used to do. I used to always use a guillotine. But it turns out you don't need many pieces of equipment for origami. All you need are hands and paper, really. So this would make a butterfly around this size, so quite a reasonable size. So maybe let's start there. But you could also, if you wanted to make a smaller butterfly, which is actually quite suitable, I think, for a bookmark, then simply fold it in half again and use that piece of paper. So you can almost do a whole nested series of butterflies. So let's start big, relatively big. So your piece of paper, all you need to do is fold it in half. So the rectangle, folding it in half, like so. So there you go. I simply folded it in half. So close it up, and then we're going to fold it in half again. So folding it in half again. Again, usually best to have it on a solid surface, that way you can line it up nicely. If I use a smaller size, you probably would struggle to see it. So I've opened it up a little bit, and it's almost like a little book, isn't it? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these little pockets, and I am going to put my finger in and squash it down. Looks a little bit like a, I don't know, a tent or something. Again, easier on a surface because you can line everything up. Like a little house maybe. There we go. So it's lined up. And we're going to do the same on the other side, on the other half. So just closing that. And again, we've got a pocket here. So if you pop your finger in, get rid of any wrinkles there, squash it down. Line it all up. Take your time. There we go. So it's lined up there. And the same on the other side. Right. So actually what we want to do, can you see how it's sort of, you can see the two layers here. I think you want to do the same on the back. So at the moment it looks smooth. Just leaf through the pages until you get this sort of open bit at the bottom. That's how you want it. It's kind of like a split house, I don't know. There we go. And there's not too many steps, believe it or not. It really is a simple but an amazing, amazing discovery from Ralph. So we're going to take this corner and we're going to bring the whole lot up, like so, and leave a little tiny bit here. So it's a little bit flat there. So it's that sort of an angle. It's not exact. Your butterfly will be slightly different to mine, but that's good. So folded it from the middle, folding it up, leaving it so there's a little gap. Now the other side, try to match. You're just doing that really by eye. That will work. There we go. So maybe this could go in a good read that you're hopefully on at the moment. There we go. I think I could do this. Showing it right. So you can now open up one of these sides. So I'm opening it up, and can you see these lines that we folded? I want to tuck that inside. So we're not adding any extra lines. I'm pushing it in, tucking it away. Can you see? So it was here, and I gently pushed it in. Always hard, isn't it, explaining the 3D things to a camera, but it's only in your hands you'll discover how it all works, but you will do it. That's right, and we're going to do the same on the other side. It's always hardest the first time and it gets easier after that. So again, we folded this flap up, opening it up, putting your finger in there, and we're going to push that inside so it's a little bit of just changing the direction of the line, that's all. There we go. Hope it's working in your hands. It will do. A little bit of persistence. A little bit of, yeah, being kind to yourself. So easy to say that you can't do things, but usually it's just giving yourself time and patience, really. I used to think I couldn't do origami. It was just a patient asking me to learn and asking me to, well, she spent time with me. And since she asked, I felt as if I obviously had to, which was good. It pushed my boundaries and it was a very good thing. Right, so hopefully it looks like this. I would recommend actually now turning it the other way up, so upwards, because in just a moment the butterfly will appear. So we're going to take just one side, it doesn't matter which side, the top flap here, and hopefully a butterfly will appear before your very eyes. Yes! So taking this top flap and folding it down in a straight line, like so. One side and the other side. There we go. And a beautiful butterfly. And that's something I do recommend colouring. I've really enjoyed adding a little bit of colour. So you could do your own unique designs. Actually, it looks a bit to me like a moth as well. We often read in the evenings, don't we? Maybe have a look at things like atlas moths or different butterflies. You could maybe give some real designs, or maybe words, patterns, maybe plain colours. You can use origami paper. I should have explained actually how to cut that. If you have origami paper, then it's usually 15 by 15 centimetres. So to make it more like the dimensions of A4 paper, if you cut off so that it's still 15 on one side and 10.5 centimetres on the other, so you remove a little strip and then you can fold it just the same. But I think that the decoration is actually the most interesting, so I would recommend that you have an experiment with that. And as you saw, we folded from half an A4 paper, A5. I would recommend actually doing your butterfly with the next size down. So even keep going, so you do another butterfly with this half, the other half keep, and then split it into two and keep going. See how small you can get. You can get a whole big family of butterflies getting smaller and smaller. I hope that's helped. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you can use it in your book and give you a little bit of company. It fits on a page really snugly. Thank you very much.